This is Elitom El-amin, the son of Adam. This right here is the Nile River in Egypt. This is one of the greatest rivers in the world, and this river is unique because it goes from the bottom, from south going to north. This has great significance on the development of the human being. Today we're going to talk about the ascension process and why coming here is so significant at this time period as I move here as the fifth element to bring this knowledge to humanity. Now, first of all, we're going into imperfection into perfection. Many people are scared of that word perfection, but perfection is being without fault or defect. It's flawless. It's satisfying all requirements. It's faithfully reproducing the original. It is legally valid. So when we're dealing with universal laws, that's what we're dealing with. A law, and when you're dealing with a law, it can be violated. When one keeps the law, they get the benefits of it. And the benefits we're talking about is we go into this perfection, as we go into this reproducing the original, because man, as he's living in his atmosphere, is actually designed to live within it continually for a long time. And when he keeps these universal laws that governs them, then he is able to live for a very long time or not at all. Right now, this is the age we're bringing in self-sufficiency, breatharianism. What is it? It's the ability to eat none at all or very little. Now, as we say this, I met some good friends here, and this one man, he's a real good friend of mine. He keeps trying to buy me something to eat. You're going to die, this and that. And I'm telling him, we don't function the same way. I know you don't understand. He means sincerely in his heart, but he never heard this before. His stomach is coming out. He feels that's normal on the aches and pains and the way he feels. But as he hangs with me for these days, he's going to learn that we're eating the food from heaven. Now, ascension, what is it? For something to ascend, to resurrect. It's the action of rising to an important position or a high level. For us as being human beings, that high position or that high level for us now is to leave the death frequency alone and come into the frequency of immortality. For us right now, that's a high position, a high level. When you deal with the Christian terminology of Christ, he's going into heaven on the first day after the resurrection. The resurrection means going from death into life. You must understand this. Now, this is the path for those who are choosing to consciously step into this high level of personal choice, to boldly step into the unknown in order to expand into the experience that is totally new. Right now, this is totally new to humanity, to realize that you can take advantage of these universal laws that seem invisible, but when you go into them, you know you're following them because you will get healthy, and you will get to the point where you will eat very little or none at all, your weight will become stagnant, and that shows you're going into perfection. We live into a perfected environment. We have perfected bodies that goes along with this environment. So these are the keys of your building something. It first begins with the thought. You must leave the thought alone. When I talked about the practices, applying an idea, this is a new idea that must be applied to manifest the results in this material plane of existence. Now, the resurrection is a concept of coming back to life after death. It's hard to realize that a person could be walking around but be actually dead. And when we say dead, we're talking about spiritually dead. You must understand this. So the erection is erecting a structure or the life. You're resurrecting an object. You're creating a building. But this also deals with the erection. Like when a male has a hard-on to erect, His blood flow is going. And the penis goes upwards from a limp state to upwards. So a lot of people is living a life of spiritual, dysfunctional, erectile dysfunction. They're not able to get it up. The building is crumbling and going back to the earth. The building means your physical body. You must resurrect it. And I talked about building this solar body, your soul being constructed, resurrection, ascension, so that it can live forever. This is what we're talking about. Now here we go in Egypt, Africa. The ancient name is Kemet. Now listen at this now. This is very key. And this, where it's located at on the planet, you notice is at the top of Africa. And when you look at the structure of Africa, it's showing you a side of a face, the right side of the brain, which deals with our imagination, our creativity. This is why you must create this new idea. Coming from the right side of the brain, this is all symbology coming for real. You got to be serious about this. Very serious. What is serious? You're not playing games. You're not joking around. You're sincere in heart. You're making this happen. Yes, I'm here now in a hotel where they serve breakfast. You sure you don't want no breakfast? They kept asking. That will make you feel bad. But in their mind, well, you'll fall out if you don't eat. They don't understand. However, this knowledge is here now. Get a hold of this knowledge. Work with yourself slowly. This is part of your constitution to build the plans of this new layout, to ascend, to construct this new building, this new habitat, where you can live a life of peace, harmony, in tune with nature, to continue by keeping these laws. So you could go from spiritual, sexual dysfunction into sexual functionality, where you could get a hard on, when the blood flow is coming. You understand? Where it's going upwards to feed the brain, to give it power, to give it juice to feed the extension of the brain, which is the body. This is not far-fetched. We're all one. You must understand this again. This is your spiritual destiny to resurrect at this time. And by me being here in Egypt giving this message is very significant, because I am one of the stars, one of the stars of heaven, to make the set times and cycles. When you hear a message like this, it's coming for real. I have came from the West, not putting the West down, from the Western mind of materialism, broke free, and now I am free, one with the greater light, which is the solar energy, resurrecting my soul. With the materialism, the finances, it don't matter. You must understand this. We're pushing this message. This is man's constitution. Hope you got something out of this message. Talk to you later as we continue our journey to change the world and change ourselves. This is Elitom El-amin, the son of Adam, checking out. Enjoy the journey.